Hello friends, hello and welcome back to our little coffee club. Man, it's finally brew time here in the afternoon. I can't wait. I really need some coffee right about now. I've been editing the video that you guys saw a couple weeks ago right now, and it's over an hour long, and when I have to edit a video like that, it takes me 2-3 hours. That's a bit much, man. Anyway, today I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit shorter. We're gonna keep playing around with this Good Brothers coffee. And the video I was editing was when I first tried it, when I first tried this coffee. So very fitting that we continue on that note today. As you guys saw, man, I gotta say this for pour overs, and by now I've made it quite a few times. This is one of my top 5 coffees of all times, as pour over. As espresso, I have brewed it already several times, and I have to say it's average. I don't know if it's something I'm doing wrong, or maybe I'm not using the right technique. I don't know. All I know is that as pour over, this is absolutely outstanding. As you know, as espresso, it's average, you know, like a light roast that you get a lot of acidity and brightness with it. It's perfectly fine, but I wouldn't take it to one of those like really outstanding coffees, top 5. So anyway, today we're gonna keep messing around with making smaller batches. So we're gonna try to grind 10 grams on the Tricolate and see how it goes with the Tricolate. The last time I tried to do a small batch like that, we tried on the origami, and I gotta say it worked. It worked perfectly fine. So I was really happy with the brew that day. So, but today we're gonna try it on the Tricolate. I think the Tricolate is better suited for those small batches. You do get quite a lot of extraction and you get a bigger yield. So on the Tricolate today, we are gonna grind 10 grams of coffee, and we're looking to get 180 grams out. So that's a 1:18 ratio, and it's pretty much what I always go for on the Tricolate. So let's go ahead, get to the other counter, and then we're gonna chit chat. There was big news. I'm talking about big news. By the time you guys see this, you already know, so it won't be news. But to me right now, I'm really excited about that. Very big news, and we're gonna talk about that right after I make the brew. So let's let's go grind some coffee. All right, so we're gonna start by dosing out, and then we're gonna grind. We're gonna grind at 4.5, so 45 clicks on the Easy Presso K Plus model. Let's dose out our 10 grams. Okay, we went a little bit over. All right, perfect, 10 grams. Again, I gotta say, man, this coffee is an absolute superstar. You guys have to try this thing. All right, so 10 grams, 45 clicks. This should go very quick, maybe 20 seconds. All right, was probably less than that. Okay, so we have a brand new filter for the Tricolate. Let's go ahead and get it in there. Okay, I want to heat up everything, so we're gonna pre-wet it in a second. The kettle is hot. The water's at 98, so really close to boiling. Again, for this coffee, you want to grind it a little bit finer than you would normally some other coffees. And for the most part, on most light roasts, you're gonna probably want to do that. So 45 clicks on the K Plus. It's about as fine as I normally go on any coffee. I think I have gone down to as far as 4, but I don't think I've ever been below 4 for the Tricolate on any coffee. So for espresso, even for espresso, this is kind of like already getting to the espresso range. So I'm gonna go ahead and pre-wet the filter and rinse everything out and get everything nice and warm. This Cruve cup has become my favorite to have my coffee on now. You know, there's something to these. I think I mentioned it before in a video. There's something to it. You just have to try it, I guess. I don't know, but it's probably placebo, but there's something to it. I really like them. I'm gonna give myself a little room by moving these things over to this side. Okay, here's our little carafe. Again, the carafe is from Fellow Products, and I really like it. It fits the origami perfectly. It fits the Tricolate, so it has worked out very well for me. All right, so let's start heating everything up. That should be enough water to get the process going, get everything rinsed out, and start heating up the carafe. Let's get a little more water in there. So then what I like to do is take the hot water from the carafe and put it into the glass to start getting it hot. When you do this process, make sure that your filter inside is nice and flat. Sometimes it'll curl up and start to get like some it looks like bubbles in there. It's not really nice and flat, so just press it down, flatten it out. Okay, also the Tricolate holds on to a lot of water, so kind of put it sideways to let the water run out. Now we take the water, put it in the glass, start getting this hot. Okay, put the Tricolate back on here, and let's put our coffee in there. Man, I really need a brew right about now. I'm ready. After like a couple hours, it was more than 2 hours, it was at least 3. After 3 hours of editing there for you guys, I kind of zoned out. I need my break, I need my afternoon brew. So that's one of the things why I don't mind filming these videos, because again, these afternoon brews, man, I do them no matter what, whether I'm gonna film or not. So it's not really a big deal for me to turn on the camera and talk to you guys. I really enjoy it, and I like it when we share back and forth, we learn together, and we can take our hobby to the next level. Okay, now something you want to do with the Tricolate is definitely use a WDT to distribute things, declump, distribute. Make sure everything's nice and even in there, because with the Tricolate, the main thing is controlling channeling. And channeling is gonna happen on the Tricolate a whole bunch if you don't do something about it. So unless you get extremely lucky, there will be some channeling, and you have to keep an eye on that. And you wanna control it. Now something else I've been looking into, and I've already practiced a couple of brews with it. It seems to work. I'm gonna try it today, being that it's such a small amount of coffee in there. I'm not gonna do my usual agitation that I normally do with a spoon and by swirling. I am gonna do what some people have been experimenting with, including myself, which is use your WDT tool while the water is in there saturating the coffee, and kind of go through all that through the bed of coffee gently with the WDT, and move everything around to saturate everything, instead of like, you know, using a spoon or any other kind of method. People, a few people out there, they swear by that method. I think they're calling it wet WDT or WWDT. I don't know. You guys tell me. It's some new thing that people are trying out, and I've tried it out now a couple times. I'm gonna use it now, see how it works for us this time. But it seems to work. Okay, everything is on here. Let's start the scale. Okay, we're at 0. Let's start the time. All right, we're gonna do a small blooming. We're gonna go with like maybe 30 grams of water. I went a bit over, it's 50. Okay, so that starts our blooming process. Let me take a look at it. Yeah, it's very little water for me to do any agitation right now. So I'll do it on my second pour. Okay, so it's been 45 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm at 50. I wanna go all the way up to 180. Okay, 77. All right, there we go, 180 grams. That's a 1:18 ratio. I'm gonna put some more hot water into the cup. Just keep heating this thing up. All right, we're pretty much done with the kettle, so I'm gonna turn it off. And now I'm gonna do some, again, using that wet wise distribution technique. I don't know what they've been calling it. I don't know what you kids are calling it nowadays. But let's just say I'm gonna go through it gently. Try not to, obviously you don't want to break your filter or something. Just kind of get in there, go over, take your time. Okay, I don't know, maybe that should be enough. I had never done it on the Tricolate. I did already try it a couple times on the origami and it seemed to work. So let's see what happens. Don't forget to rinse out your WDT and dry it. Okay, now being that we're only doing, I don't know, somewhere around half of what I normally do, then I'm looking for maybe half the time, right? I guess. So maybe we should be done with the process in about 3.5 minutes to maybe 4 minutes. Usually I'm somewhere between 6 minutes and 8 minutes. So I guess somewhere between 3 and 4 today. You know, something that I wanted to tell you guys about is the coffee while it's brewing, and not on the Tricolate, maybe not because it's plastic, I imagine, but when I've brewed it on the origami and you take a nice deep breath, it smells like cookies baking. I don't know if it's just me, but this coffee, again, it has a lot of aroma, very nice smell associated with this coffee. I have to say, while I've been brewing it on the origami, it kind of smells like cookies to me. And when you smell the espresso, it smells like honey. So I don't know if it's just me. If you guys decide to try it, report back, let me know. Okay, so we're calling it 4 minutes and like, I don't know, it was 4:15, something like that. So we'll see how a small batch works out here on the Tricolate. But you can see when you turn it sideways, you get quite a bit more coffee coming out. So always do this to just get all of it out. Okay, so we're pretty much done. Let's get it over to the other counter and chit chat a little bit. Let's talk about those big news. All right, so let's give it a big swirl and serve some of this coffee. All right, good brothers, Costa Rica. Again, just such a nice aroma to this coffee, at least to me. You guys have to try it, man. You gotta let me know. Please report back, somebody out there, report back to me and let me know what you thought of it. Maybe, I wonder if it's just something that is, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Oh man, this is just works for me. I don't know what it is, but it's so good. It's perfect. It's perfect again. So I've been using that wet wise distribution technique or whatever you guys are calling it. And it does seem to work because it kind of agitates the bed of coffee. It further declumps things. It moves things around, gets everything nicely saturated without so much agitation that it starts to clog up your filter. So in some instances, it's gonna work better than any other probably form of agitation. And maybe sometimes not. I mean, it's just something that you have to experiment with. So far for me, it's been working out. First time I tried on the Tricolate, but you know what, on the Tricolate, I think I'm gonna use it more because my other technique was just very complicated, and this is just a lot easier. It's a lot easier. If it keeps working out like this cup, then I think I'm just gonna do that. On the origami, you know, swirling is even easier than using and I don't see the advantage really. The cups have been pretty much the same, whether you do some swirling or whether you do the WDT while the coffee is brewing, you know. But on the Tricolate, I don't know, it's something to keep investigating further because my Tricolate technique was very complicated. This is a lot easier. This is just great. I don't know what it is. Yes, there's some acidity there for sure. Okay, it's present. It's underneath the sweetness. the sweetness, it's more present in this cup. And when you make espresso with it, it's nothing like that. It's way brighter, way higher acidity, and the sweetness is way underneath everything else. So it's like flipping everything around. And then you get more of that mandarin, some more of a citrus kind of flavor. I could definitely see it. But as pour over, it's just sweet and awesome. The acidity is just the right amount. And again, when you're having your espresso of this coffee, I get that scent of honey. And when I'm brewing it, not on the Tricolate, I couldn't smell that today. But when I've been making it on the origami, definitely get a scent of like some kind of cookies. Okay, so I don't know if it's just me, but that's what I get from it. Okay, so something that I also wanted to talk to you guys about this coffee further was that Termico processing. So I'm going to include a clip as far as to that Termico processing right here on the video, so you guys can read it if you want. Pause the video and read it, or I will read it to you guys. But if you want to pause the video and take a screenshot or whatever to remember it or something, go ahead and do that. But I did go ahead and find this clip, and I wanted to read this to you guys.
The Termico process is a new experimental coffee process invented by Don Luis Campos of Cordillera de Fuego. The process enhances the natural sweetness and fruit flavors of the coffee. The process starts by selecting the cherries when they are at their ripest, allowing them to have a high sugar content and thus feeding the Termico process. The semi-washed coffee is then placed on the tanks with the mucilage left on the bean. As the fermentation begins, oxygen decreases and the carbon dioxide increases, creating pressure in the fermentation tank. The coffee develops in a unique mix of lactic acid and malic acid, which contributes to the coffee's complex flavor. So again, I don't know how much I can attest the greatness of this coffee to the grower, the region, the processing method, the roaster, the species of coffee, or who knows what. I just gotta say it's amazing, and I don't know, maybe it's just a combination of factors. Maybe it has to do a little with each. I'm not sure, but all I know is that, again, top 5 of all times. By the way, Termico is a Spanish word that means thermic. So obviously it relates to the heat involved in the process. Notice, interesting enough, on the tasting notes, it mentions oatmeal cookies. I may not get that from the taste, but I definitely get that on the aroma.
Okay, and the other thing I want to show you guys, it's right now I took a picture of the how the bed of coffee looked on the Tricolate after this brew, and how it looks after you do that WDT in there. I wanted to show you guys what that looked like. I'll include it right here. All right, and now let's talk about the big news. The big news. Okay, so today for me is April 1st. You guys will see this video in a couple of weeks. I think the next video is me making the Lavazza coffee as pour over, and you guys will get to see what went down with that. So yeah, Lavazza as pour over, I think that's the next one, and then it'll be this one. So, and again, today is Saturday. I'm editing the video that I will leave posted tonight to come out tomorrow, Sunday at 7 a.m. And that's the one I was editing right now. That's like over an hour long, and it's taken me forever to finish. So anyway, I'm getting ready to go on vacation. By the time you guys see this video, I will be just getting back. Maybe I'll get some footage. Maybe we'll visit an interesting coffee shop or something like that on the trip, and I'll make a coffee related video in regards to the trip if it happens. But I have been able to stay quite consistent on the videos, and the only way to do that is by having a couple of them kind of in the works or almost finished, so that I don't miss an upload. Okay, so but anyway, let's talk about the big news. So like I said, today is April 1st, and yesterday, well, I guess it was the first in the UK when they announced it. I guess it was already the first, but anyway, regardless, whatever. I just found out the Niche Zero, my favorite grinder, is making my dream come true. Since I bought this grinder, I told you guys that my dream would be that Niche would make a nice flat burr grinder that looks just like this, but a flat burr grinder that I can pair with this one. So I can have the best of both worlds. I can have the conical, I can have the flat burr grinder. So I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon just as of right now, but I will be buying that grinder eventually. Right now, as a matter of fact, I would have already ordered it if it wasn't because I'm going on vacation. I don't want my new espresso machine to get delivered and to be left outside or God knows what, and I'm not here. So I will order the new espresso machine once I get back from vacation. So I don't know how long that's gonna take to arrive, but be expecting some videos in regards to the new espresso machine. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it there on the counter and to start having some brews from it and experimentation. There's new content coming. I'm planning on getting a couple new toys also, some new tools to play with the new machine. So we'll see how all of that goes. But man, what big news to me! I was waiting for that, for Niche to come out with a flat burr grinder, and what a grinder I think it's gonna be. I mean, it seems to be a beast. Big burrs. What are they? 83? I think they're 83 millimeter flat burrs. So man, yeah, I mean, what a beast. They're gonna make it also in white and black. It looks just the same, a little bit bigger. So man, I can't wait to start seeing people making videos in regards to it, and once it comes out and it starts arriving. And yeah, I'll order mine eventually. I'll have it there on the counter paired with the nice conical that they've been making all these years. So anyway, I don't want this video to get super long, but again, and the only reason is because I'm gonna have to edit today. I have to keep editing, so I have to finish that one video that I'm almost done with it, and then edit another video. So when I'm on vacation, I have a video to go up on Sunday. Then what I'm recording right now is what I will edit that weekend to put the next following weekend. That I guess in 2 weeks you guys will see it. I can't say enough good things as to this coffee for pour overs. You guys just have to try it. One of you guys please step up, and I hope they still have some left. I don't know. And I don't even remember seeing them like really advertising this one too much. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. But I did say, man, I want to try another Costa Rica because again, I had such a good experience with the first one. And as far as shots of espresso, maybe they are very similar, but for pour overs, no, they're not at all. This is just on a different level. This has been absolutely wonderful. Oh, something else that happened. Did you guys see the James Hoffman video where he goes to the Starbucks Reserve? Again, man, I'm telling you guys, you guys saw my experience when I went to Seattle and what I recorded at the Starbucks Reserve. If you didn't see the little clips and images that I put on the video, I'll go ahead and put the thumbnail of that video here now. So if you guys want to check that out, take a look at it. I thought that video was pretty cool. Obviously, we made coffee. We brewed that coffee that I bought at the Reserve, and I share a little bit of my experience with you guys. And James Hoffman, I gotta say, he seemed to also, he was pretty wowed by the place. The Reserve is a different animal. They're pretty spectacular. So anyway, guys, I hope you're brewing something tasty. I hope that if this is your first video that you run into a video that I've here on my channel, please consider joining our little coffee club. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please give the video a like. I'm gonna finish this up because this is wonderful. I do have to say, and I'll see you guys next week.